Side quest, cold as ice. There you are. You wanted to see me. That I did, and it's quite urgent. Weather's been a bit brisk lately. I suppose urgent messages don't normally start with weather reports, but stay with me. It was cold last night. I conjured a cozy fire to keep Fane warm, and wouldn't you know it, I fell asleep before putting the fire out. There's an ash window in the hut. If you let a magical fire burn too long, it will both an ash window. But before I could bring it to the magical creature reserve, the sneaky little serpent slithered away. It's still cold, or he's scared. Spooked him, alright. But pardon me, shaves his fear. It's possible that Ash window escaped into the school, and if that's the case, we could be in mighty big trouble. Thank you. Ash windows only sound dangerous. On their own, they aren't, but you have to watch out when they lay eggs. Once born, they only live for an hour and sneak to a secluded area to lay eggs. Do the eggs hatch? Nah, leave them alone too long, and they got a hot as dragon's fire. I've seen firsthand the commotion they cause. Certainly sound fascinating. Fascinating, what makes you say that? Trail of ash, they leave everywhere they go is interesting. That could be very useful when tracking down the ash window. It seems we need to hurry and track down the missing ash window. This situation seems delicate. That way, you'll be familiar with its behavior when you do find the missing creature. Thanks for coming so quickly. What are we doing here? I've heard rumblings of the ash window sight in here in the kitchen. We've got to act fast and find the missing ash window before it lays eggs. Perhaps it can help us track down the missing ash window. It seems to be interested in that cauldron. Oh, there's the missing one. Let's take it to the creature reserve before it lays its... It's gone. Dissolved to ash. That means it laid its egg. You remember what happens to those eggs if those eggs go unattended? They burn and could start a fire. That's right. I'm glad you have been paying attention. Since the ash window just dissolved, the eggs are probably somewhere in the castle. We have to find those eggs, or it could spell disaster. May as well start near where we found the missing ash window. You have searched this place top to bottom. I'm fully satisfied there aren't any eggs in here. It must have laid its eggs somewhere else before coming here. Pits! That's Trail of Ash was opponent. Nothing is opponent than a clean fall. Between the two of us, we won't be able to cover much ground. Agreed, but I'm not quite sure where I ought to start. But he may be a bit sour about it. He's got a dodgy history with the ash window. Professor Kettlebone, he loves all magical creatures. Why wouldn't he want to help? In the meantime, I'll search the rooms around the kitchen. I suggest you visit Kettlebone straight away. I could really use your help. I'm always happy to help. Is that an ash window? I haven't been this close to an ash window since I'd rather not say. There isn't much time and involves an ash window. History might repeat itself. Many years ago, an ash window almost burned down Hogwarts. It was during Christmas pantomime of the Fountain of the Fairy Fortune. I remember hearing about that. It led to Headmaster Dippet manning all plays at Hogwarts. That incident was entirely my fault. I meant to provide an engorged worm for the play, but I neglected to realize it was in fact an ash window. Bummed down all of Hogwarts, I've steered clear of the creature ever since. There's an emergency right now that you can help with. Ash window has laid the eggs in Hogwarts. Hagrid was correct in assuming I could help. Get involved with ash windows again. After all these years, you can redeem yourself by helping us now. Instead of those feeling responsible for a disaster, you can prevent one. You're alright, I'm going to live in my fears. I'll help you find the ash window eggs. Do you have an idea where ash window would lay its eggs? I'd imagine the type of places Snape goes to mope. The Slytherin common room, perhaps I should start there. Since you mentioned Snape, I'll start searching the common room. And what about the potions room? I hope for all our sakes that you handled the situation better than I did. Go to the common room. And watch out, there's an ash window following you. Nice to meet you, ash window. I'm searching for eggs that were laid by an ash window somewhere in Hogwarts. It's not for Easter Barnaby. I can help you. I've done plenty of research on snakes and serpents. It could be dangerous. But if you are in danger, that's all the more reason to help. And from what I remember, even though ash windows come from fire, they prefer cold, which is why I came to the common room. Let's check under the couch first. That reminds me, if you find a chocolate frog hopping around, it's mine. Why don't we check behind the bookshelf? Which makes it the perfect place to lay eggs. It's warm over here. Oh. Eggs. You were right, the eggs were behind the bookshelf. Thanks to ash window, we didn't have to burn our hands. Seems to be protecting us from the heat coming off the eggs. They are way too hot to handle and getting harder. I don't know what to do. I promised Celeborn I'd help him redeem himself. Let's put our heads together and come up with a plan then. We have to move the eggs, but we can't pick them up. It seems the best approach would be to somehow cool down the eggs. We can't touch the eggs, so we'll need to freeze them right here before we can carry them. You're full of great ideas. Let's visit Flitwick to brush up on the Glacius charm. What the hell? There you are. Mr. Lewis is explaining that your request is quite urgent. We need to freeze eggs and wanted a quick refresher on how to perform Glacius. Yes, but Hogwarts. It's the fountain of the fair fortune all over again. It's all my fault for tempting fate by trying to put on the first place since that ill-fated moment. It's no one's fault. It was an accident. It's different this time. Celeborn is helping us. The situation must be urgent for him to join your cause. Are you confident this plan can succeed? Absolutely, we have done everything right so far. If you believe this will work, I shall put aside my worries and help. It is the perfect charm for the situation. Let me give you the refresher course on how to cast it. There you are, you know all there is to casting Glacius. When used properly, Glacius can extinguish fire, create ice blocks, or even freeze water. You can practice on me. I could use a cool down after all this bone and eggs. It looks like a mouth. Well done. Why, Mr. Lee, you must go quickly and freeze the eggs. Thank you, Professor. I'll send Celeborn and Owl and have him meet me in the Thank you for meeting us. Professor Flitwick taught us everything we need to know about the Glacius charm. Now we'll freeze them long enough for us to make proper use of them. As an expert, he made a perfect Barnaby ice popsicle. I'm more than ready to freeze the eggs. I'm not a moment too soon. Now freeze these Ashwinder eggs. Glacius. Well done. I know how you feel, little eggs. Let's gather them up then. Seems your Ashwinder won't allow me to pick up the eggs. Your bond may be strong with the creature, but mine is not. That's true. This may be a good time as any to finally face my fears. I can sense this Ashwinder's kindness. My fear was misplaced. I made an honest mistake when I was confused at Ashwinder for a worm. Now that I have spent this time with Ashwinder, I finally feel a connection. And Ashwinder feels the connection to you. Thanks to you, I've been able to redeem myself. Now we have to figure out what to do with the eggs. Then we can decide what to do with them next. Celeborn was just telling me what a brilliant job you have done. You found the eggs and came up with a solution to keep everyone safe. What's been the most satisfying part? I love spending time with Ashwinder. Looks like Ashwinder agrees with you. Dumbledore would prefer not to have these dangerous objects remain on school property. Let's discuss possible uses for the eggs. Turns out there are quite a few uses for the Ashwinder eggs. They are ingredients in liquid luck potions and love potions. They're also eaten whole as an antidote to what? That's a nasty illness with fits of fever and chills. Those who are sick is more noble than creating luck or love. Let's donate the eggs to St. Mongoose. The new purpose will be to help rather than cause harm. It was our pleasure, Ashwindu. Never thought I'd see the day Kelborn became friends with an Ashwindu. I was given a second chance. The catastrophe of the Fountain of Fair Fortune, pantomime, is a distant memory. Thank you. I want to thank you as well. I'm impressed with how well you handled the situation. Not only did you find a noble purpose for the eggs, but you also formed an unbreakable bond with your Ashwindu. Ho ho!